Hello, welcome to Ringside Reality. I'm your host, Johnny, along with Chris.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. So this is our second
Oh,
podcast this week, and we're fucking half eat here,
well, I probably got the shits now, don't I?
having a few beers,
It's Friday night and we're mad losers sitting in our rooms friggin'
doing wrestling podcast.
doing a wrestling part. Although I am watching the Blue Jays game on TV, so I mean I'm not a total loser because everybody's on the Blue Jays bandwagon. Go Blue Jays! I love BJ's. Woo! So,
Thanksgiving BJ's probably.
I'll give and take. I'm a giver and a taker. I'm a fighter and a lover, if you know what I mean. Ow! What?
I don't know, man.
So this is our second one, but this time we don't have much content because it was only 2 days ago. So, but there is some tidbits and lots of little news stories that's always happening in the world of wrestling. There's always something going on behind the scenes, which is clearly more entertaining than what's actually happening on television.
Yeah,
So,
well, SmackDown. Not much happened on SmackDown really. That was like crazy. That was from the last few weeks.
now SmackDown was not. Well, I didn't even see the main event because I fell asleep. But
It was a good show, but it was nothing like noteworthy. Like last
yeah.
few weeks, there was something that came out of it the last few weeks that we talked about.
Well,
But this one wasn't really.
like I
Even
just like how everything has a purpose. Like even the like people are like, there's already people saying like, oh, when a shitty match happens on SmackDown, people are like, this is good. But when it happens on Raw, people are like, oh, this is Jobberville. But the difference is like, even when it's fucking goddamn Vaudevillains versus like the Hype Bros or something, like it's for a tag team title. Like even when it's Carmella versus or coming out and fucking attacking Nikki, everything's for like a reason. So it's not just thrown together like Jinder Mahal versus fucking Darren Young or something for no reason, right? Like Raw has a lot of pointless stuff that doesn't lead anywhere. Even the jobbers on SmackDown, like I don't complain as much about it just because as long as they're fighting for something, for anything really, like I'm okay with it.
yeah,
The world needs jobbers too, Johnny.
well, I find the jobbers on Raw, sorry, it's just a lot of like squash matches, and like you said, it doesn't
Well,
really
there's tons of
mean
it.
anything, right?
I know. Since they're trying to like catch lightning in a bottle again, like you did with that fucking retard looking color with the weird face. Like ever since then, they've been trying to like, but it'll never happen again. Like that guy's a fucking icon. He's probably Hall of Fame bound, isn't he? Like that guy. He had he was like eating his own face, wasn't he, or
he
something? You
had no
said?
he had no chin. Like, I don't know, it's weird, man. He looked like a weird bird, and his hair was all slicked
Yeah.
back, and he had like blonde hair. Like I
Like
don't
they
know.
should have named a baseball team after him or something. Like he just had a weird. I don't know. But anyway, to try to catch lightning in a bottle again. But now it's
Well,
just like whatever.
how long do you do a all right? So yes, they brought back squash matches, which was good. You know what I mean? But how long do you do it for just two people? You gotta eventually put them in a feud, right? Like Braun Strowman can only squash jobbers for so long. I mean, is he gonna
Well,
fight
maybe.
somebody at some point, or no? Same with Nia Jax. Is she gonna fight somebody at some point? Yeah, you squash him, yeah, and I find that that's okay. You do that for a little while, but I mean, he's done it for what 5 weeks now, I suppose, is it?
I suppose it's been a couple of months almost now since the draft, so maybe Mia Jackson and fucking Braun Strowman will feud. How about that?
There'll be a love
I mean,
interest thing where both of them like love. They get. We said this before. Remember, we said maybe they'll get off on their destroying of jobbers. Like that's their like foreplay.
yeah, maybe they will get off on beating that people. Maybe they should become a tag team and take on all fucking like pros or something.
Hype pros. You love old
But
Mojo Rawley, don't you?
I didn't even know who that was until a couple weeks ago when he came up on the roster. Fucking, I know, still don't really know who he is. I don't know what he does. Hype bros. So there's been some like, well, when anything big happens, like it was the same way kind of when Finn Balor came up and like got his monster push. For the next week or 2 weeks, there's always that ripple effect of people talking and stuff like that. So since Owens won the belt Monday, there seems to be like everybody's weighing in on it. I guess you could say everybody has a different opinion on how it went down and stuff, but none more loud than Vic Venom or whatever the fuck his name was. Remember Vince Russo used to be Vic Venom on old WWE Livewire back in the
Yeah,
day, the old TV show.
yeah.
So Vic Venom came out and well, he just did the same old shit that he always does. He doesn't like indie guys, obviously. All his podcasts are pretty much all roads lead to the same path to that guy. He hates anybody that's not an entertainer. Like if you're not fucking on a forklift, or if you're not a chicken, or you're not a celebrity and whatever, he doesn't like. If you're just a wrestler, he doesn't like you. But I'll let you tell everybody what he kind of said, which is really the only thing that got any heat from it, I guess.
Well, I kind of skimmed through it. What I never listened to the podcast. I just read on WrestleZone what he said. The gist of it was people were asking him to weigh in on the Kevin Owens title, win, and he's been vocal about Kevin Owens in the past, apparently, saying that he didn't think Kevin Owens had it factor to be a main eventer and this kind of deal. But the thing that really blew me away, well, he did say that wrestling at this point was at its lowest point in history. In his opinion,
I don't totally disagree with that.
Well, I think the context he put it in was that them giving Owens the belt is desperation because it's so bad at this point. They had to try something. So I sort of agree and I don't agree. Like, I agree that yes, is at a pretty low point, but giving Owens the belt, I don't think is a product of that. Yes, they only gave him the belt because Balor got hurt. So without Balor getting hurt, Owens wouldn't have been champion. But
Correct.
I mean, at some point, it's a business, right? They had to do what they had to do. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I think it would have been at its lowest point if they gave like Reigns the belt again, or maybe even like fucking like Zack Ryder or somebody the belt. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even Big Cass now, there was a lot of people saying that Big Cass should have won, which is ridiculous.
He's not ready for that.
But no, Vince Russo, the thing that blew me away that he said was that David Arquette was more over than Kevin Owens is. That blows me away. There's no chance that David Arquette was ever over with the fans at all. No. Not a chance. No. I remember watching it. I remember watching when David Arquette was champion and everybody hated it. Wrestling fans did not like David Arquette being champion. Nobody did. Not even when it was happening. The only reason why they did it was to tie in that stupid Ready to Rumble movie and to try to get some like celebrity buzz. That's the only reason why they did it. They didn't do it because the fans wanted it. They didn't do it because he was over with the fans and none of this shit. They did it just to get some celebrity buzz. But for him to say that David Arquette is more over than Kevin Owens, come on. Like Kevin Owens gets a decent pop, man. Monday night he came out, he had a good pop.
Yeah, it's like Russo is one of those people that, like he says a lot of stuff, and some of it people agree with, some of them don't, but you just can't accept the fact that what he did to WCW and since with TNA is shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he can't accept the fact that he was horrible. He'll never admit it, man. Like, everybody knows what he did in WCW was horrible garbage. I'm pretty sure, okay? Like, everybody knows it. And he did good in WWF at the Attitude Era. Everybody gives him mad credit for the Attitude Era. So why don't you just, like, own up to it? He still, 16 years later, won't admit that it was a horrible idea to put Arquette. He did it for shock value and to boost ratings for, like, 1 week. Because he figured if the next day people found out David Arquette was champion, they'd tune in the next week to see Nitro just to see the shit show that it was. But, like, I'd have a lot more respect for him. Because, like, he obviously knows the business. Like, a lot of people shit on him 100% and say, like, oh, shut up, get out of the fucking, nobody cares about you, whatever. Like, the dude was head creative during wrestling's hottest period of all time. He was the head of creative. Now, whether or not Vince McMahon gave him the go-ahead, gave him ideas, whatever, man. He was the head of creative during wrestling's hottest peak period. So, for people just to shit on him, I don't agree with that. But at the same time, if you want to get respect from people and be considered a fucking, someone that people should listen to, then own up to your mistakes, and he won't do it. Like, he still thinks David Arquette was a good idea. Like, I've listened to a few of his shows. He won't back down. It blows my mind how he fucking still thinks it is. The guy's an idiot. Like, really, I mean, he's just an idiot. But I don't disagree with him of wrestling being at its lowest point. Like, for me, and I don't know if it's nostalgia or being a kid in the 90s, but everybody goes back to, like, 1995. But I don't know, man. If you ask me, you can have Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, The Undertaker all in their prime, or you can have Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Neville, or whoever's the top guy there now. I'd take in 95's roster. So I don't disagree with what he's saying. I actually do agree it's at its lowest point. I don't think wrestling's there. For as far as talent goes and characters and being over, like mainstream people being over, and just the buzz around wrestling, it's as dead as it ever was to me. Even in 95, Christ, man. They had Lawrence Taylor coming in Main Event Mania, which hindsight was horrible, but it did create some buzz at the time. Right, I think he's just talking about it being his lowest point, as in nobody gives a shit. And I don't know if I disagree with that. I can never remember a time where, like, they don't even have, like, Cena's not in his prime anymore. You know, that whole celebrity guest thing they did in 2009, people said that was like the worst Raw ever was. But they have Batista, Orton, Taker, Jeff Hardy, Triple H, John Cena, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. Now, what do you got? You got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and a part-time Brock Lesnar. Like, is he wrong? Or, like, I don't know. Like, how is it a ridiculous statement, or is it just people are shitting their pants over it?
I don't think it's like totally ridiculous. I do agree that, just in my experience, me being a wrestling fan, telling other people I'm wrestling fans, most people are like, man, I haven't watched wrestling in 10 years, or I haven't watched wrestling in 15 years. Like, nobody really See, the thing is, people have to be watching it because they got like so many million, network subscribers, and they got so much million YouTube views, and they're selling merchandise, and there's still people watching it. Obviously, not as many people watching as what the Attitude Era was going on, but there's still somebody's watching it somewhere. I just think a lot of people are like closet wrestling fans nowadays. Like, no, a lot of people aren't as quick to admit that they're a wrestling fan, because most people are like, boy, that's garbage, because who's in wrestling now? The only wrestler anybody knows is John Cena, right? I mean, before that, who do you know? Like, most people are like, oh, I know The Undertaker. Yeah, I know The Rock. I know Steve Austin. Well, boy, you're going back to like 16 years ago at this point. You know what I mean? So, I mean, in the last 15 years, the only new wrestler that anybody remembers is John Cena.
Yeah.
Right? Well, Lesnar probably just because he went to the UFC, right? You'll probably have a few people now realize who the hell CM Punk is because he's going to the UFC, making his debut. Isn't that like in a few weeks?
That's next Saturday.
Like not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow.
Right.
Well, we'll see how he does. I suppose.
Like, they do a lot of, like, the Vince, and when he has these conference calls and stuff, he always the ratings are the lowest they've ever been, but they go with the whole nobody watches TV anymore, and our internet numbers are really high, our social media numbers. So they base the product, like, the product must be doing good, but there's a huge downfall to that, and it's that nobody's actually watching the show. That's the difference. It's like, so everything is accessible very, very easily on the internet. Like, I can go and watch Raw in like 5 minutes on the internet and skip the rest and just watch one segment, and they get a hit on YouTube for someone watching like 5 minutes of the show, and they go, well, we're doing okay, but nobody's actually sitting down and watching Monday Night Raw, the 3 hours of it. People that go on Hulu and go on YouTube, they skip fucking all the matches. They just watch like the main event segment, and they watch like probably a New Day segment, and that's it. They're not actually watching the show. And so I don't know how they can consider that a success. Because I guarantee you, people aren't going on the internet and watching 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. So back in the day when Raw was doing 7.0 ratings, people were watching that for 2 hours. So the interest level is so much higher. Now I guarantee you, if the internet was around in 1999, the way it is now, there'd be 5 times as many people following on social media as there is. Like, social media, everybody's on it, and everybody has access to it, and it's so easy to be on, it's so easy to talk about. It's hard to gauge it, really, because, like, how much are you actually watching? Like, how many people are actually watching the product as opposed to... How many people do you think actually just watched the last 5 minutes around the internet and seen Kevin Owens win the belt?
Oh,
a lot, right?
Tons of them. Well, WWE itself posts matches on YouTube afterwards, like, just matches. They don't post the whole show.
Yeah, so like...
Which makes absolutely no sense to me, okay? So, I can watch it on TV for free. I can watch, like, Raw, SmackDown, whatever. Wouldn't it be smart then to the next day just put that up on YouTube? Right? Because then you're getting more people. Let's say I missed it last night. Well, now I can just go... If I missed it last night, I can just go on to... YouTube, their YouTube channel, and watch the whole show, and that counts as a view towards them. But no, if I missed Raw Monday night or SmackDown Tuesday night, Wednesday I gotta go online and go on to Dailymotion or somewhere like that, trying to find a stream of it or trying to find a copy of it and download it illegally, and they don't get shit all from it. Wouldn't it make sense just to put the whole thing up? Well, especially because they're not offering it on the network, so you pay $9.99 a month to get the network, and you don't get Raw or SmackDown. Makes no goddamn sense. So SmackDown comes on, you got to change the channel. You got to turn off the network to watch their show. So stupid, man. It boggles my mind that you got to do that. That's stupid to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It don't make any sense. I agree. It's fucking stupid. Like, I know that there's stuff behind the scenes, the reason why they're doing that we don't know probably, but like legalities. But like on the surface, if you're launching a fucking network of any kind, or if you're launching any product, if you're in advertising and you're doing adverts for a living or something, and you're gonna launch something, wouldn't you want your flagship show to be? You better goddamn well make sure it's on the network. Wouldn't you? It's your flagship show. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make any sense for it not to be there. It's what they've lived and died on for the last 25 years. For it not to be on the network, I understand USA has the rights to the show, and if they put it on the network, their ratings would drop horribly and sponsors would leave. Because why would you pay to put a commercial on USA and to the WWE when you could just not pay at all? People, you know, people are going to go to the WWE network to watch it, so ratings will go down to like a 1.0, and then USA will lose out on sponsorships and the contract and all that shit. But to me, it's like I just said, the basic, the meat and potatoes of it is, it's your network, it's your flagship show, but you don't have it on there. Explain that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it makes no sense.
Well, like I said, even if you wanted to keep it on there, make it available the next day. Be able to stream it.
Yeah, make it available right away. Like, right after. Fuck.
As soon as it ends, yeah, you can go on the network and watch Raw again, and watch a replay of it, or SmackDown, or whatever. Or the next day, like I said, put it up on YouTube, and you can watch the whole show. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, it seems like if you're not around Monday night at a certain time to watch it, 8 Eastern or whatever, if you're not around that exact time to watch it, then you're not going to see, you know what I mean? You got to illegally find it afterwards.
It's pretty stupid.
Makes no sense to me, but...
So, but anyway, that was, like, it's one of those things. So, Vince Russo shoot his mouth off. Dave Meltzer and Bryan Alvarez shit all over Owens' title win, too. Not the fact that Owens really got it, but the way it was done. Like, we kind of talked about it before. They talked about it, I think, so. They stole it from us, by the way. But they basically said, like, it made him look absolutely retarded, that he basically laid outside the ring for the whole match. Didn't do a fucking thing. While he was laid out, Triple H came in, beat the crap out of two people, rolled him on top of him, and Triple H stood there with him and kind of took the glory from him. Like, they didn't like the way it was done at all. But a lot of people have said that. So that's not really good. We talked about that.
I didn't
like it either. We talked about that last...
Yeah, we talked about last... There on Monday, but Tuesday, whatever.
There's I just want to mention something real fast that I read today. Friggin'... So, Luke Gallows was on a radio show today, or yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear this?
No.
He says that Vince McMahon didn't know when he came back that he was Festus. He didn't know. Like, so, I'm not even joking. So he told a story. Basically, it was only a short little story. He's like, he was in gorilla position, getting ready to go out or something, like with Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said to Vince, like, Festus is ready to go out, and Vince's like, what are you talking about? And he didn't know who he was. He's like, that's Festus? He's like, that's the guy that played Festus? I'm like, okay. So he said the best part of Festus' character is that we heard from talent relations, or head of talent relations, that Vince doesn't even remember that I was Festus. So, I don't know if Vince has just gone completely fucking delusional. But that's not even a rumor. Like, Gallows actually, he said that himself. Like, he told the story. So, I don't know. It's a little bit worrisome, isn't it?
You probably...
Like, apparently, too, his girlfriend has seen the Festus character, and she didn't find out till, like, after going out for, like, a long time. He told her. She didn't even recognize him and know that it was him.
Well, because he was a lot fatter, too, and he didn't have a goatee. So...
Well, he looks a lot... he's aged a bit, too. He looked really, really, really young. Speaking of that, did you hear that... well, not speaking of that. This is not a segue at all. But you know how they put out the numbers for the WWE Network sometimes? Like, Meltzer gets his hands on them and shit?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of interesting. I don't know what the fucking think it is. I don't know if I believe it, actually. SummerSlam weekend, apparently NXT TakeOver was the most watched show on WWE Network that weekend. It did more people watched NXT Takeover on the network than SummerSlam. I find that really fucking hard to believe, but
I don't.
that's what Meltzer said. The only thing I can think is that like it's obviously hardcore fans that buy the network and they only wanted to see good wrestling and they didn't turn into shit. I don't know. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with what you just said. I say more than likely people who are paying the $9.99 a month or $11.99 if you're in Canada or whatever to get the network, they're watching the takeovers like because they know when they put it on it's going to be a good show. And then they're probably just like, oh, SummerSlam, that looks like a shit like card. We even said it was a shit card, right?
I know, dude. But would you miss like fuck if you're a network subscriber? As much as I bitch about wrestling, like I'm not missing. Like I didn't watch Takeover until the next day because I was out. It was Saturday night, but I ain't missing SummerSlam. Like I mean, is it just because we're older and we have like the big, like we grew up with the big four pay-per-views, right? Like you couldn't miss the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlams.
Well, especially when that was the only pay-per-views. One time.
Is that why? Like, because we're just like we just can't like. You're like me. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna miss fucking SummerSlam.
No.
Like you're not. If you had a choice to watch,
like you got to watch those, no matter where you were.
Yeah, like I mean, shitty as it was, if I'm given a choice, I'm watching SummerSlam over Takeover. No, Takeover is always a better show, and I know it's a better show. But it's fucking SummerSlam, and I grew up with it, right? Like it's part of my DNA to watch SummerSlam.
But I think you hit the nail on the head with the hardcore wrestling fans. Like they want to see a wrestling show. I mean, when you look at Takeover, in terms of wrestling, like a wrestling show, it blew SummerSlam out of the water. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yes.
I mean, if I'm gonna sit down and watch entertainment, maybe SummerSlam was somewhat of a better entertainment show or like a.
I don't know.
Well, you know what I mean? Like more storylines and this kind of shit. I mean, Takeover didn't have much of a storyline because they don't really focus on storyline. There's a little bit of storyline there, but not a lot. But I mean, you take Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano versus the Revival.
Oh, that match was fucking awesome.
So most people don't even know who the hell these guys are. You know what I mean? Who the hell's Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa? Nobody knows. But you put the guys in the ring and they're fucking phenomenal. They put off an excellent match, right?
I blew me fucking load during that match.
One thing I do gotta say that's giving me a little bit of hope. I was talking to a few friends of mine last night, and they have a podcast as well, but theirs is more like video games and this kind of stuff, and animation, and they got a cartoon and they got like a video game, and my friend works for a video game company. He actually listens to the podcast. Actually, he was telling me, Curtis was saying he's up to episode 13 of our podcast. He's trying to get caught up. But we were talking about wrestling, and surprisingly enough, the few friends I had there were saying that they were like, oh, we're like watching a little bit more wrestling nowadays. And I was like, oh yeah, really? And they were like, yeah. The reason I got getting back into it is because of Shinsuke Nakamura. Is what they said. Like they were saying that's the reason why they're starting to watch wrestling again, because of his character and how he's
very strange.
And well, how he's kind of like, he's got this weird kind of charisma, I guess. And his style and everything else, but that's what they were saying, which I found, it caught me really off guard. I was like, how the hell do you even know who Shinsuke Nakamura is, for one? But it was like 4 or 5 of them. It was like Curtis, Dave, Leland, Chad, like a bunch of them standing around saying, that they're watching a little bit more wrestling. They're not hardcore into it or nothing, but they're watching a little bit more because they knew who Shinsuke Nakamura was. Like, there's more than what most people could say.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree, especially because he's on NXT. He's not even on the main show. But you never know who it's going to be, right? The guy that draws people in, that's the best part about it, and that's why we beat the drum so much over the last 15 episodes on forced pushes and telling you who to cheer for and telling the casual fans and tell their friends who to watch. It doesn't work that way. It's just that who would have thought Nakamura of anybody? As bringing in, even if they're just tuning in to watch it on YouTube or something, it's eyes on the product. You never know who it's going to be because it's just a natural charisma. He's naturally over. He's not doing anything. He's not trying extra hard. He's just being himself, and he's bringing people in. And I'm sure it's not just them. A lot of people like him. And Vince McMahon had got no intentions of sending him to the fucking moon. But it's those kind of guys. That's the ones that get over. Austin and all those guys get over organically. We say it all the time. You know, like like I said, we're beating a fucking dead horse with it, but we say it all the time. Just people that just have something. Daniel Bryan's another guy. He's 5'5", man. He's 180 pounds. Who would have thought that he'd be the biggest? He'd be the most over guy probably. He was more over than Cena. He wasn't a bigger star than Cena, but he's the most over guy since Austin with
Oh,
the
for
crowd.
sure, man. Even when he
So
came out there
like,
as a GM, I was like, holy shit, the roof
yeah,
was
like
coming
he's
off the place.
super over. So it's just like it's one of those things, I guess, right? Like it goes back to if you have someone that's getting over naturally, and McMahon has a tendency to stop it all the time. He has a fucking terrible reputation of shutting shit down when it's getting hot. If you have someone that's getting over naturally, roll with him. Don't roll with the guy that you want. Because if you're in business, and McMahon knows this, and he tends to do it the right way most of the time, but if you're in business, you got to go with whoever's getting over, not who you want to get over. If he wants Roman Reigns to get over, that's fine, but I guarantee you, Nakamura comes to the main show, he's going to be over.
Oh, yeah.
Really, a lot. So, but it's, I mean, yeah, it's cool that people are just tuning in to see stuff like that. Like it's obscure stuff, right? Like that. If you would have asked me, like, name one guy that's bringing in even a remotely casual fan, it wouldn't be Nakamura because he's on NXT. I would never have stopped that. I would never even have had it.
And, like,
So
it's
that's
not
not
like I mentioned it to him. Because I mentioned Finn Balor to him a while back.
Oh, by the way, congratulations to Curtis. He just had a kid.
He did, yes.
If you're listening, Curtis, congratulations.
He'll listen.
He's
I'd say now he'll get to this one in a few days once he gets caught back up, but
he's a daddy now.
he's a dad
The
in
kid, fucking kid will be 12 years old where he gets this one. He's like, I had the kid 12 years ago, but...
Well, I got one more thing now before we get on anything else was because I heard you mention Dave Meltzer and all those guys. So I seen a thing on Facebook today. I don't know if you've seen this. Guess who PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, guess who they named as their #1 wrestler out of their PWI top 100 this year?
It's either Roman Reigns or TJ Hopper.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed a picture. Yeah, they showed a picture of Roman Reigns. So he's, according to them, he's the #1 wrestler in the world.
Well, okay, first of all, if anybody doesn't know what PWI is, because it's, sorry, I guess I'm going on the YouTube.
Are you watching porn?
From the
again?
90s and stuff like, no. Some old lady time.
Old lady porn?
No. Hold on, I gotta...
Look at this one.
Get in!
Sorry.
Sorry, everybody. I have 2 cats. They can be a little hellish at times.
He's a crazy cat.
PWI. Yeah, we're crazy cat people. Okay. Thank you for breaking that up for me. Jesus. Okay, now this old lady's back vibrator. Okay. There's dildos. Okay.
What are you, old ladies with dildos? What did you say?
Are you there?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I apologize to everybody. Well, 2 people. I'm an ass man.
Darn.
Okay, we're back?
We're back. We didn't even go anywhere.
Oh, yeah, we did.
You were talking about Roman Reigns, PWI.
PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It's a kayfabe illustration book. It used to give some scoops back in the day, but they've been doing this PWI Wrestler of the Year for, 30, 40 years or whatever. It's always been kayfabe. It's based on, like, 5 different things, which is, what feuds you were in, matches you won. Like, it's literally 100% kayfabe. Now, I'm not taking anything away from, I don't really care who you name Wrestler of the Year, but it's not exactly what you call Merc. It's not for Mercs. It's not like, oh, goddamn, fucking Sami Zayn's going to win Wrestler of the Year. Like, he's probably not even top 20 because he hasn't had the impact on the show. It's all about your impact and your push and your title. That's another thing. Titles is one of the reasons, one of the ways they hand out their list. So Roman Reigns was like 3-time champion in the last year, so he automatically gets it. So that's the way it's done as far as I know. But, Roman Reigns had good matches last year. He was in the wrong position, but who was number 2?
I don't know. I just seen it because he posted on his Twitter that he was #1 or whatever.
Yeah, I read it too a couple of days ago, and to be honest with you, I don't know if it's because I don't care about Roman Reigns, and maybe this is an indication of how nobody cares about Reigns, but it didn't even fizzle. Like, it didn't even bother me. It didn't give me any rise. I was just like, whatever. Like, kayfabe-wise, He's main evented like 2 Manias in a row. He's won a Royal Rumble. He's been like 3-time champ. He's been in every fucking storyline. I guess if you're talking kayfabe, he probably is a wrestler every fucking year, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose kayfabe was, but Jesus.
I don't really give a fuck now, do I?
Kayfabe died a long time ago.
Bye. It is dead, but I mean, PWI is still fucking holding on to it. One more thing too. I wanted to mention this earlier. I don't want to backtrack. Truly, I don't, because I know you want to get on to some other stuff. But there's this wild rumor going around. I guess you could call this a Topher tidbit. You probably read it, so it's not really a Topher tidbit, because Topher tidbits are supposed to be unknown to everybody else. But there's this rumor going around, and Meltzer he hasn't debunked it. I'm sorry for mentioning Meltzer so much, because it's not like he's a fucking be-all and all wrestling, but that Owens didn't know he was going to win the belt.
Oh yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
I don't want to go back to Owens too much. Just a little thing that apparently there's a rumor going around, and it hasn't really been shut down. Meltzer tweeted out today, "There's more to come on this story," as if it might be true. That Triple H came in, did what he did, rolled Owens on top, and if you look at Owens' reaction where he looked shocked or whatever, there's a rumor going around that he was told Rollins was going to win it, and then he rolled him on top and got the pin, and he didn't know. Now, if that's true, that's kind of cool. Like, just just taking my markness out of it and how I'm like a wrestling fan and stuff. If they fucking gave him the old swerve or whatever, like, it's kind of neat if that's real, but I don't know if it's true or not. If it is, it's kind of cool.
I hope it is, because then they're going for a genuine reaction from him. Like, there's no acting for that. He's actually surprised that he's getting it, which is what it should have been. It should have been a surprise, right? Nobody expected Triple H to come out and help him. But I read that too, that it was supposed to be, he wasn't told about it. Nobody in the back was told about it. Apparently the referee wasn't even told until it came through his earpiece afterwards, and he was told about it. So I think they left everybody in the dark. Well, mostly everybody in the dark about it. Chris is taking a potty break. He's going to the potty. So I think all right, once we're done talking about that for now. We got a little thing we've been wanting to do for the last little while. Was we were talking about theme songs a while back, and we just heard all Mr. Ass with all Ass Man. But we did a little list about our worst and best wrestler themes. But I think we're just going to focus on the worst, and we picked 3. I got 3 anyway. I don't know if you got any. But
I had a lot easier time with the best. By the way, I want to apologize for my effort tonight. Friggin', I've had a little bit of a stomach pain all day, and I feel like it. So I'm kind of out of her. So I'm trying, people. God damn it, I'm a person too. I'm trying. All right.
He's not a person at all.
So, well, I've been on the fucking toilet all day, man. Like, I know people don't want to hear that, but it's reality. I mean, what? You don't shit, huh? So I'm trying. But anyway.
All right.
I've had. What?
We'll stop talking about your bowel movements.
But it's reality. I don't know what to say.
All right, so listen. I'm going to play a song. You're going to tell me who it is, or you're going to try to figure out who it is, okay?
I've had shits all day, man.
Shut up.
What?
Yeah. So this is the number one. This is my first worst theme song of all time. All right?
Oh, you got to count down for number 3, though.
All right, so yeah, just say this is number 3. All 3 of them are bad, so.
Okay. What the hell is it? What is this?
You want to know what it is?
Oh. Hold on.
It's called Calling All Cars.
What is it?
It's called Calling All Cars.
I don't even know if I heard it before. It's horrible shit.
It's Big Daddy V.
Oh, who? My Viscera?
Yeah.
Or Mabel?
Yeah. It's for some reason it's Calling All Cars is what it's called, and like at the first of it he says like Calling All Cars. Let's listen.
What the hell is this? Oh, what is this? What the hell 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 is this? What the
For some reason, like he's like a cop or something. Like he's calling all cars. Like, all right, so
What's that thing make sense?
I know that's what I mean. So this one's gonna be bad too.
That was hold on. We should just go back to
Okay, back and
forth.
forth. All right, so you give me one.
That was fucking horrible, by the way. That should have been number one.
Oh, it gets worse.
Well, because it's not only how bad the music is, it's also like how much it doesn't relate to the person or character portraying it. You know what I mean?
Well, it gets worse.
So, I got one here. I'll play it. I don't know what the fuck this was all about, but this is an incarnation of Brutus the Barber Beefcake in 1996 when he was with Miss Kimberly.
What?
You know this one?
I don't even remember that.
He was called the Booty Man. And Miss Kimberly was... This is 96. He was the Booty Man. And Kimberly, like Diamond Dallas Page's woman, was the Booty Girl. And together they were the Booty Man featuring the Booty Girl. And this was their shitty fucking theme song.
I don't even think I heard this. Come on.
This is Ed Leslie.
Oh my god.
Ed Leslie used to come into the ring. He was the first Mr. Ass.
This is 96 too. This is not like 91 or 90.
That is horrible.
Oh god.
So
that chorus is bad.
WCW used to be where the big boys play. He actually says in the lyrics when he's gangster rapping, he's like something about, oh yeah, that's what I say. I come to WCW where the big boys play. Like he actually used that in his lyrics. So that's my number whatever 1 to 3. That's a horrible piece of fucking shit is what that is. And you know what's even worse is you're a hardcore wrestling fan. You don't even remember the Booty Man?
No, at all. Not at all. No. Not one bit.
He didn't leave much of an impact on the industry yet. All right, what do you got next?
Oh, this is bad.
What the fuck? What?
The world is watching me. The world is watching me. Look here, come out and get to it. Kill game, back and flow like fluid.
Alright, so try to guess who owns it. Try to guess. You'll never guess.
Is it like a jobber?
Worse than a jobber.
What? I give you... Okay, do I even know who it is?
Oh, yeah.
Buff Bagwell.
Jonathan Coachman.
No.
Yeah. That was his theme song.
That's not the coach's theme.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's called In a Low.
He came out to that all the time?
Yeah.
I never even realized how shit his music was. That sounded like that was in like 2000 or something?
Yeah.
Because it sounded super fucking early 90s gangster rap.
Yeah, but I was like Coachman, like...
Oh my god. That wasn't a very good one at all. Hopefully you pick it up. Is this supposed to be the worst list? Because that was fucking horrible.
That's what I mean. This is why it's horrible.
Alright, well, the next one... This is an obvious one, but to people that don't watch wrestling, it's not obvious at all. But I gotta do it. I mean, I just can't... I know, like, we talked on the phone before we did this. We're like, let's go with obscure. And this is obscure, because nobody in the fucking world knows who these people are. But I gotta play it anyway. I'm just gonna play it. You'll know what it is. Everybody, please listen to this steaming pile of fucking shit. Oh, it's coming. I'm gonna crack beer for this.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
You know what it
I
is?
think so.
This might be number 1, but I'll play it down. It's the worst song ever.
I knew it. American males. American males.
What?
You don't need a weekend lover.
Like, this is actually my number 1. I thought it was the worst wrestling song of all time.
Yeah.
But, like, what? What?
The song makes no sense.
So,
American males. American
the
males.
American Males were a shitty old tag team back in the old debunked WCW in the 90s, and it was Buff Bagwell and some fucking random fella.
Scotty Riggs.
And they were Scotty Riggs. They were Chippendales, basically, right? And that was their gimmick. They were fucking buff
American males.
Yeah, they came out like with the suspenders and shit, like they were Chippendales. Anyway, I don't know how I'm gonna follow that because that's the worst fucking team.
The song is just like American males. This is
well,
weird, man.
You know what's weird is all I remember from, like, actually the song is just the American Males part. I didn't know there was that horrific verse of like, "You better run for cover" and all this. Like, I don't even remember that part. So that when I heard that, when I looked up the list, and I wasn't gonna put it on, and when I heard the verse, when I heard that fucking horrible verse, I was like, okay, this is solidified now. Like, this is definitely top 3 worst songs ever. Not only wrestling songs, like, ever. Top 3 worst songs of all time. Ever written in the history of music.
So this one here is bad, but just the context of the song is even worse. That's what makes it one of probably the worst ever for me. So, alright, listen.
Everybody's doing it because it feels so good. All you need is a partner that know how to move, and the rest is real easy. Just stick the groove. And when you get yourself started, it's hard to stop. You just go for your partner. You know what? And then you
You know what he's saying, right? Grab them cakes is what he's saying. So try to guess who owns that. I'll give you a hint, it's from the 80s.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to say it's hard because the coach's theme I thought was from the 80s, and turns out that's like 2006, which makes that even shittier. But that's from the 80s?
That's from the 80s.
What promotion was it
WWF.
from? One Man Gang.
Close.
Akeem?
No. You want me to tell you who it is?
Yeah.
Junkyard Dog.
Ah, no. How do I not remember his music being so fucking shitty?
So, the song is about dancing in their neighborhood with a girl and then just grabbing her. That's why it's called Grab Them Cakes. At one point she tells him to stop. She's like...
They would never get away with that anymore.
She tells him, like, I don't want you... Like, almost basically says, like, don't touch me. And he's like, I'm going to grab them cakes. And just, like, rapes her. Like, that's what the song's about. I couldn't believe it. Listening to it, I was like, holy fuck.
Oh, yesteryear when you can get away with fucking raping people and singing about it when you're coming down to a wrestling ring. No more of that these days.
No.
But that was a horrible list. I don't even know which one was worse. That last one was pretty bad. What the hell is that? What was that?
You know what it's called?
Oh, that. Oh, that's the worst. Primo. That's the worst. Well, well, you never put on, like, credit to you, because we always talk about bad wrestling teams, and we try to go a little bit weird, like American Males wasn't, but credit to you for not putting on, like, Zack Ryder's song, or fucking Mr. Ass, or something, or X Factor, or whatever.
Listen to this one.
That one, Rob Conrad.
Just look at me.
Don't sing it.
So good.
Yeah.
Like, see, I don't even mind this. This is the one that I disagree with.
It's just it's bad for a wrestler.
I guess it.
That's what it is.
Like, I always, like, look at me.
The whole damn world wants to look like me.
Yeah, like
It's pretty good.
it's not that bad.
I got one
song,
more.
Really, it's just bad for a
Well,
wrestler.
now that's actually, like, yeah, like you said before, like, that doesn't exactly get amped up, does it?
No.
I only got one more left, and this one here is, this is the most racist thing I think the WWE ever did, really, and they've done a lot of racist shit, but you would never really get away with this these days, especially given the old political turmoil in the States right now. Do you remember when Chavo Guerrero became white?
Yeah, when it was Kerwin White.
Do you remember his music?
Yeah, yes, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, it just, well, first of all, people don't know his last name's Guerrero. Once again, his last name is Guerrero. He's not typical white fucking like someone that's born in fucking suburbs of like some American city, or he's fucking Mexican or whatever the fuck he is. But this is music, and I find this super offensive because Chavo Guerrero is one coming out to it. So he's basically saying, it's so offensive, it's unreal. Like the Titan fans go along with it, and people can't see it. He drives his brand new car to his country club while he looks at his freshly mowed lawn that was done by some old Mexican fella earlier. Every stereotype in the world is hit on this Titantron. I suggest you look it up. Anyone out there, just watch this Kerwin White Titantron. It's horribly fucking offensive. Well, these days, back then, I guess you could get away with it. I don't really know. It's not even that the song's that bad. I just forgot about him, and
Kerwin.
I can't believe stuff.
He
He
used to-
used to get to.
he used
They
to
used
co-
to get away with stuff like that.
He used to come down in the ring in a golf cart.
Yeah, he used to come down in his golf cart, and he had like a, you know, like tennis players wrap their shirt over their shoulders and tie it around their chest or whatever. He used to do all that, but given the way the world is these days, like it seems horribly offensive. And the whole Titantron is fucking hilarious, man. It's like it's him like basically just showing off how easy it is to be a white male in America and how everybody else got it hard.
Oh, I'm reading it right here. His catchphrase was, "If it's not white, it's not right."
Oh no, that can't be real.
That's what it says.
This is mad offensive.
It says in one of the stupidest moves of the last few years, WWE changed Chavo Guerrero, Mexican superstar, to Kerwin White, evil white golfer. That's not bad enough. His catchphrase was, "If it's not white, it's not right."
That's okay. That's wrong on so many levels. Like, what's worse, that gimmick or Vince not knowing who Festus was? I'm not sure. Hey, that's so wrong. So that was some shitty music. We will do we'll still have to do the best ones. Like I got, the best ones were pretty easy because I don't even care. Like it's only my. I'm not looking for like the best ones as in like what other people say is the best ones and all this stuff. It's more just like a personal opinion. I can find like I love lots of wrestling songs. Like I like more than I don't like because I don't care about the shitty ones. So I can find 3 good ones. Just basically like fuck even Hulk Hogan's original theme song. I'm marketing to that like crazy, man. I was a kid fucking wearing Dominion bag over my fucking chest, ripping the old plastic bags. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I used to put her over and fucking rip them off like the old Dominion bags and shit. Like I like all kinds of wrestling. That's not hard for me to do at all. Like the Road Warriors theme was another one I used to like. What a Rush and stuff. And,
See, I'm more
that
like
one's easy.
The ones I had for my best, like, well, I'm a big heavy
Val
metal.
Venis.
I'm a big heavy metal fan, so a lot of the heavier ones last like few years, probably last 10 years, probably, because we don't have any really heavy ones now that I like. Some of the ones now I find aren't really songs as it is just music. So there's a difference, right? So, for example, like I like Shinsuke Nakamura's theme, but it's not really a song as it is more just music. There's no singing. There's no like it's just entrance music, right? Balor, it's the same deal. It's not a song. It's just music. So I like Balor's as well, but I wouldn't say it's a song that I like. You know what I mean? I wouldn't sit down and listen to Finn Balor's music over and over and over again. You know, I
No,
just,
it's like back in the day, because a lot of songs didn't have music, like words back
yeah,
in the
like
day.
you're not gonna sit down and listen to Undertaker's theme.
No.
Oh, there you go. Hello, lady.
That's the only good part. That I'll stop it there. After that, it goes mad downhill. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it doesn't have to have like words in it, really. Like back in the day, hardly anybody's music had words. There's been some good ones the last. Like, I like these days. I find everybody so watered down with like, you know how their music is these days, like all like this generic alternative rock and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really, really bad. Like the one that I used to love, man, and like I don't know if this is a song that people like or not, but Cult of Personality, CM Punk song. I remember loving that song back in like the '90s.
Yeah, well, before
And
it was, yeah.
when he switched over to that, like just it made him feel like a bigger star, just coming out to like an actual song that people knew and stuff. So like, and then you got ones like Randy Orton's and stuff. Like, I don't even know who sings that. Is that an actual band or
Which one? The one that sings
like,
it now?
yeah, like the Voices song?
Oh,
Is that like a real band or is that just someone? That's not a WWE song, though, is it?
let me just see.
Because I don't even know where that came from, really. I had voices in my head. Like, the music these days is not as creative as it used to be. Back in the day, they always used to get creative.
Let's see now. I'm just
What's
bringing up
going
some
on?
info on it here because it's I don't know the lyrics. Fuck that.
No, I don't want to fucking sing it.
It's sung by Rich Lucy of Rev Theory. So the lead singer of Rev Theory sings it.
Oh, yeah, I know who Rev Theory is.
Yeah, so the lead singer, that's who sings it. So,
Oh,
like, for
okay.
example, I'll just put on a quick one here of what, like, I was a fan of. Now, this is 7 years ago, but, let's see, now she's loading. Give us a second here.
Get new internet.
You know what this is?
Matt Hardy?
Oh, yeah.
Broken Matt back, hey there.
Delete.
I knew you.
Delete.
Johnny, I knew you'd come.
I always thought this theme was Deadly Man.
Yeah, well, it helps that it's an actual song, right?
I always just thought like it had a good energy, and it's just like how it kicked in and.
That's a good one. I like that one. You know what? My favorite theme song is that. Well, I used to I'd listen to that song like, friggin' like just listen to it. You know what I mean? Like it's not even like a wrestling song to me. It's just like a normal fucking song. Yeah, that's a good one. What?
There's you mentioned Cult of Personality by CM Punk, but
Yeah, that one's good.
but I liked his ECW theme better actually. Well, because I liked Cult.
You like this one? Oh no!
It's cat.
Oh yay! Oh yay! I don't know why I just put that on. That's not one of my favorites.
But like this one here is an actual song as well.
Okay. What?
You remember this?
Hello.
What's going on?
I think we have some technical difficulties undergoing at
Oh,
the Ringside Reality ringing. Just had some mad technical difficulties.
Why'd your phone cut out?
No, you played it and I could hear you kind of breathing and shit, but I couldn't hear the music for some reason.
Let's try this again then. Alright, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but
Alright, let's try it again.
This is that's technical difficulties music. Hold on, let's wait for this ends. Sorry about it. Alright, that's over. So that was some technical
difficulties.
difficulties.
Let's try this again. Can you hear this now? Can you hear it?
No.
You can't hear that?
All I hear is...
Maybe it's because it's...
Well, you got the worst taste in music ever. All you like is the little fucking white noise. Your favorite song.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, a little bit. I can hear it better now, like a little bit. But it's not loud though. It's like very faint.
Well, because I turned it down so it wouldn't be like all distorted. But it's called "This Fire Burns" by Killswitch Engage. This was his first theme.
Are you talking about CM Punk?
Yeah. His
first one was good. I wonder why he changed it.
Well, I remember what it was when he left. Remember when he left with the belt?
Yeah.
Apparently, a part of his contract coming back was that he got Cult of Personality as his theme. Because that's the song he used to use as his theme on the Indies.
Oh, I see.
And he wanted.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He wanted it back, right?
You think you know me?
That's a good one, eh?
You got like the.
This is a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one too. Is that the one he had after Fiction or?
Yeah. This is the old.
I can't hear it though.
This is the old metal English one.
Well, I think you get the middle. I want to go to the middle.
This is all On This Day I See Clearly.
I can hear it now. You're an Edge head?
I was always an Edge fan.
I know Edge head.
I don't know that.
Alright, well, you got new ones on the go there. Let's throw back fucking some old school shit, baby. Ow! Remember this one?
Oh, yeah.
This is back when they used to actually stimulate the wrestlers coming out.
Yeah.
So there used to be a time when wrestlers would come out and their theme song would like reflect like everything you did. So like, remember the Mountie had like
the Mounties was hilarious. The best thing about the Mounties was he used to actually sing it himself as he was coming to the ring. There's videos of it online where he used to actually be singing his theme as he came to the ring.
Yeah, he was fucking hilarious. The Mounties was. So actually, that should be on the old best list. The old Mounties.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But yeah, like so back in the day, like it was different. Like you like because I guess wrestlers actually lived their characters back in the day apparently. So you know what? I won't play it, but I just gotta give a shout out to. I don't know if it's probably my favorite is $1 Million Man theme song. That's fucking amazing. That's amazing. Anybody out there, Google the Mounties thing.
You know what's hilarious?
Great song.
You know what's hilarious with this? The picture of him is him with like what's supposed to be, I think, a taser or like a stun gun, but it's a stick covered in red duct tape.
What?
That's what it is. That's what the picture of it is.
That was horribly fucking cheap.
Apparently, the Rougeau brothers is really funny too because they became like America lovers eventually, but their whole song was in French and it was how they hated America. Is this the one I wonder? Yeah, this is it. This is hilarious. The Rougeau song is there. We're all American boys. The Rougeaus are all American boys, apparently. We don't like rock and roll. They listen to Barry Manilow. So this, I was reading about it. It said there's a whole verse there where they speak all in French, and then they say "We love USA," but apparently the whole French-speaking verse is how they think that America's stupid and all the Americans are idiots.
Jeez, but I'd like goddamn fucking all the insightful lyrics from Beatles or something, are they? Little deep fucking meanings to their songs and stuff. Well, I gotta, you know what? Before we go, because we're at an hour, I want to just hate on the fucking nerds on the internet, because we're not one, right? We're not nerds, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, we're like normal people, right?
Oh,
we're not
yeah,
nerds?
sure.
Okay. Everyone out there, like, in preparation of Well, I didn't know. This was like a month ago when I first like looked up. I just typed in like worst songs, wrestling themes, and you guys all suck. Everyone out there, because all the lists were like that song, the Rouge Brothers, the Mountie, fucking Big Boss Man song. A lot of the good ones, friggin' like the good old songs, and not even the old ones, even the newer ones. Like people just don't like to have fun, man. Like the Ass Man, which is fucking hilarious. Like it's a hilarious song. The guy's name was Mr. Ass, and he comes out to a song called Ass Man. And it's kind of catchy, and it's a bit of fun. And people are like, that's the worst song ever. Not like X Factor and shit, but you guys need to all lighten up. Fuck off. Like that song you just played that time is fucking hilarious. How could that be one of the worst wrestling songs?
It's not.
No, it's not. Like, people here are fucking losers, man. Like, they're like, oh, this is like corny, and it's not. Like, not every song needs to be goddamn Hey Jude, people. Like, it's a bit of fun, man. Like, the Mountie song was another one that kept popping up. Every list I looked at, I was like, oh, it was number one on a lot of people's list, the Mountie song. Are you kidding me? If I kid me right now, Mountie.
Yeah, that's not the worst. That would probably,
No.
like, it fit the character, it fit the time, obviously. If you played that song now, yes, it'd be like, okay. But
not to me. I still love it.
No, but I mean, if a wrestler came out right now with that kind of music, most people would be like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, of course they would. You know why? Well, yeah, it doesn't fit the time. So what does fit the time? Generic alternative rock music with no soul and no fucking beat. Like, congratulations, people up to date that complained about yesterday's music. You enjoy fucking people coming out to just random generic music that has, like, no soul at all. And no fucking... It got nothing to it. It's just dead music. It's like, yeah, regular rock song. You play something like the Mounties and you're like, this is horrible. So what? It had a bit of character. It was a bit of fun. Anyway, I've done my rant on fucking people bitching about old wrestling music. Why don't you suck my... Alright.
Lick your love pump?
I find that D minor is the saddest of all keys, and I don't know. There's something very sad about D minor.
That's a very beautiful song. What do you call it? Lick my love pump.
It's like... no, oh, by the way, yeah, if anybody don't know, because we're turning into inside jokes, speaking of old shit that people probably bitch about these days, this is Spinal Tap. It's a fucking classic movie from the 80s.
Oh, yeah. I love that movie. I still like it.
We might be dating ourselves just a little bit. Of course we are, but watch that. Anyone out there that hasn't seen Spinal Tap, you gotta go watch that. We should do our one watch day in a fucking week. My watch day in a week is, well, and yours too sounds like, This is Spinal Tap. It's classic.
Did you hear about this? One last thing before we go now. Did you hear that WWE reportedly threatened to fire Paige if she didn't break up with Alberto Del Rio?
I heard it, yeah.
And well, Del Rio's done now, apparently. You heard that too, right?
Thank God, too, by the way. Del Rio's done.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
He's a charisma vacuum. That guy fucking sucks. Yeah, I heard that horrible rumor. And, well, just to follow up, I claimed on, like, episode 11 or 12 that Roman Reigns was banging Stephanie up the arse. Remember that? Yeah. Turns out I don't really have any good sources on that. Yes, kind of lies. So, yeah. Sorry, people, for starting that wild rumor that Triple H walked. I think I said Triple H walked in and he was fucking raining up the arse. I think was the story. But, sorry. But yeah. So, well, that's a good thing anyway. You know what? Paige should thank WWE for breaking him up because he looks like he's 70 years old. And she's like 22 and she's hot. And Del Rio, like, I mean, I know people, like, women like older men, but if you're going to date an older man in the wrestling business, how about, first of all, date someone that's successful, not some fucking loser like Del Rio. And someone that doesn't look like he's fucking, like, Del Rio looks like he's fucking dying by, like, he looks way weird. He looks weird.
Well, apparently he got promised a lot of shit when he re-signed. They promised him the title and, like, a big push and all this stuff. But Vince nixed it just a few months after he got back, and then he basically had to wait out his contract and get the hell out of it. So
that doesn't sound like Vince McMahon at all. Making promises and then not keeping them? Oh yeah, that never happened before. Fuck. So yeah, it's a good week. So I guess we'll come back next week sometime, probably next Friday, I guess.
Yeah, probably next Friday. Okay, one last tidbit. I'm reading this right now. This is hot off the presses 47 minutes ago. CM Punk says he weighs more than 200 pounds just 10 days out from fight night.
Okay, you're going to have to give me some context to that because I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
He's fighting at 175 pounds. So, and he weighs over 200 right now. So that means he has 10 days to lose like 26 pounds.
You think he's doing it on purpose so he doesn't fight?
Well, that's what they were saying here. Said CM Punk claims he has quite a bit of weight left to cut. Is he serious or just trolling?
Oh, I read something like last week that people were saying that before, because you know how it's been like 3 years now and there's no buzz left around this at all. You're saying that like, don't worry, because there's been so many excuses along the way the last 3 years. Like, Punk will find a way to get out of this, trust me, like people were saying. So hopefully this is not just something where he's like, oopsies, can't fight, I'm too fat. That'd be fucking horrible. 25 pounds, a lot of weight to lose in 7 days, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's supposed to be at what, 175?
175 is what he's fighting at, yeah.
So is he trolling? I don't know, he probably... Yeah, I can't even picture him at 175. Like, he was like 210, 215 when he was in WWE, wasn't he?
Because he's a bit of a tall guy, too. He's like, what, 6'2" or something?
He needs to, like... By the way, fucking speaking of CM Punk, he's a fucking bitch. Like, he's the biggest wiener. He makes fucking Bret Hart look like not even a wiener. Like, so him and Colt Cabana aren't friends anymore now? Did you read that?
No, I didn't hear about that, no.
You never heard about this?
No.
Oh, so, CM Punk deleted Colt Cabana from his Twitter account today, and he's not following him anymore. You know why? Because CM Punk's in a lawsuit with WWE over stuff that was said and stuff that was done in with Colt Cabana, like on his podcast and shit or whatever.
Yeah, I heard about,
anyway,
I
Colt
heard
Cabana,
about the lawsuit. Yeah.
So Colt Cabana went to Raw. I don't know what date it was. Probably within the last month or two. Probably the last week, actually. And he went to Raw and went backstage and took some pics and visited some old wrestlers that he knew and stuff. CM fucking bitchface here found out that Colt Cabana went back. This is not even made up, and this is not a rumor either. This is reality. He fucking found out that Colt Cabana went there and went on fucking Twitter or something, basically saying that Colt Cabana just affected his lawsuit and Vince McMahon is something to do with his lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. He stopped following on Twitter, and the UFC guy, one of the main sources for UFC, I don't know his name, has it on good authority that like Punk and Colt Cabana are basically falling out. They're no longer friends, and Punk now fucking hates him. So, what one friend he did have left in this world, he seems to have lost, because Punk complains and bitches like I've never seen in fucking life, and it makes me kind of just, you know what, like fuck you, Punk, man. Like you had a 434-day title run too, you know. Like just because you weren't Steve Austin doesn't mean you weren't successful. Like if maybe he thought in his head he should have been Steve Austin or The Rock or Hulk Hogan, but he was never going to be Steve Austin, The Rock, or Hulk Hogan. He had a successful career. Vince gave him a lot. He screwed him over too. There's two sides to every story, but he fucking called all wrestling fans idiots. Said he hates wrestling. Like, just get the fuck out. Like, he's spent 3 years now waiting to fight in the UFC. Like, nobody cares anymore, Punk. You little fucking bitch. Like, he pisses me off. Like, nobody fucking cares about you anymore. You were a good wrestler. You never left a legacy up there with fucking Hulk Hogan. Just get over it. Like, and now Colt Cabana's like one of his good friends, and he deletes him off Twitter and bitches him out on Twitter today. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of over CM Punk. Kind of done with him. He's kind of like Brock Lesnar to me. Like, I'm kind of over Lesnar. I'm kind of over anyone that gets involved in UFC. I'm kind of over it. Like, it seems like once they get involved in UFC, they all turn into little bitches or something. Like, fuck off. Like, wrestling's what made you rich, you fucking moron. He actually did say that all wrestling fans were idiots, and I quote, "You do realize that house you live in is because marks like me and marks like you and marks like everybody else in this entire fucking world, I go and see you, paid for that fucking house in Chicago. So to call us all idiots, why don't you fucking get down on all fours and cuff the balls and swallow their gravy, you piece of shit." I'm done. Are you still here?
Yeah, that's your rant for this week, is it?
Well, it just pissed me off. You know, I don't know if we call it, was it a rant? I don't know if it was.
Oh yeah, that's a bit of a rant, yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if you got anything to say today. I know you like CM Punk. I'm sorry.
No, I'm a big CM Punk fan when he was in wrestling, and I agree.
Once you stuck his dick in it.
But I do.
Yeah, you like Punk. I did too. I like Punk.
I do agree that there's two sides to every story. And yes, for everything that he got screwed over with, he did do a lot of bitching. Like, one of my big deals with him was that, all right, he didn't get the WrestleMania main event. Okay, well, you know what? Big deal. There's a lot of guys who don't get the WrestleMania main event, and
did Roddy Piper get a WrestleMania main event? One in a tag match, right?
Yeah, That's what I mean. He
Did
never got a
Jake the
title.
Snake? No.
Fucking.
Well, that's one of the things Russo said. Remember? Did you read that?
I'm not sure.
He said, like, wrestling's gone downhill when Kevin Owens is champ and Jake Roberts, Mr. Perfect, fucking
DiBiase.
Rowdy Piper, King Kong Bundy never had the belt. That's how deep the talent pool was. When legends like that didn't even need the belt. But anyway, like they never got WrestleMania main events, did they? Most of those guys.
DiBiase did he?
Yeah, he fought Macho at WrestleMania 4 for the belt. Remember, he was supposed to win it, but he lost. But yeah, like Roberts, Perfect. After WrestleMania 1, Rowdy Piper didn't even come close to it. You can get a sniff out of it. Fucking a lot of guys, King Kong Bundy, all these guys that were big stars, none of them got a sniff. And is that Punk's biggest gripe with wrestling? Is that he never got a WrestleMania? It seems to be, doesn't it?
I think that's the whole background to it. It was that because The Rock came back and they gave the Rock Cena thing happened and pushed him out of the main event was one of the big reasons why he got really bitter with wrestling was because he just thought that he deserved the main event spot because he's out there every single night working his ass off, and The Rock comes back after so long and then gets the shot right away, gets the main event right away.
That's life.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, life. How many guys that are in the locker room too are like, man, I should have got that spot too, or whatever else, and just didn't.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous.
You just keep going, man. You keep going. Maybe next year you could have got it. Maybe the year after. Maybe it will come, man. You just got to keep fighting at it and working hard, and it will come eventually if you're that good. Which he was. He was that good. If he would have just kept at it. And yeah, he was getting screwed over with a lot of things, man. I guarantee you there's fucking tons of guys. Well, ask Bret Hart how getting screwed over by the WWE. You know what I mean? Like, sure, there's lots of guys got screwed over in the last fucking 30 years with WWE.
Yeah, but like fucking, the thing is like, the way Hart's screw job that he had, well, first of all, I got on record and I still would. That's the biggest incident in the history of professional wrestling. That's still talked about today all the fucking time. But that was a big fucking deal, and like that was an incident. That was something that nobody. What Punk's talking about is like, oh, I couldn't put a logo on me tights. Oh, I couldn't tie my shoelaces the right way, and oh, he wouldn't let me get a tattoo on the back of my neck, and like this is like Bret Hart got screwed over in front of fucking like 2 million people on pay-per-view in his hometown in Montreal. Now, it was his fault, too. It was Vince's fault. I don't want to get into that. They were all wrong. There's no right answer to the screw job. They were all wrong. People debate it still to this day. Was it Vince? Was it Brett? Was it Patterson? Was it Triple H? Listen, everybody that had their hands in that mess, everyone was fucking wrong. But that was a little bit more of a big... Bret Hart got a little bit more reason to be bitter because that was a big fucking deal. The stuff Punk's bitching about is fucking nothing compared to what happened to Bret Hart. Not even close. So it's like, listen, dude, like, you don't really have it that fucking bad, but I don't know. Like, I guess that's what it was. Like, I didn't know that was the reason.
Well, that's one of the reasons. Like, yeah, I think that was one of the major reasons.
Well, like, his reasons seemed to be kind of fucking, I don't know. Like, when he left to come to UFC, I was, like, excited for, like, 6 months. I was like, oh, he's going to fight in UFC. But, dude, I was, like, 22 years old when he went to fucking UFC. Like, you know what I mean? It's been forever. So I kind of over CM Punk, and then this Colt Cabana thing kind of pisses me off, too. What, just because Colt Cabana went to Raw and went backstage and met some of his old friends and stuff, now you don't like him anymore? You fucking hate him and you delete him off Twitter and you say you're no longer his friend and everything? Like, the guy has friends in wrestling. You went back to see him. Fucking leave him alone. I just find him very... Like, he's young, too. Like, Bret Hart's sour, too. He got old. You know how people get older and sour. How old's Punk, dude? Like, 30...
Late 30s?
7,
yeah, late
maybe?
30s, yeah.
Like, can you imagine what he's going to be like when he's Bret Hart's age? Holy fucking shit. Like, he's not going to be fit to look at. I mean, the guy's young. And he had everything. Like, it's not like he didn't have a good, successful career. But, like, him getting mad at The Rock for coming back. Are you kidding me? The fucking Rock is coming back, dude. By the way, for the first time at WrestleMania in 8 years, the fucking Rock is coming back. Like, to get mad at that is just silly. Like you just said, man, go out there and grind it out. Fucking your time will come. I can't believe that he would even get mad at that, to be honest with you. It's like all these guys in, like, basketball, for example, like LeBron James and fucking Steph Curry, they get all the attention, correct? They get the media every day. Everyone clamors to them. They all want to talk to these guys. If Michael Jordan came out tomorrow and said, I'm coming back next year, guess what? Even though he's 50, every single press outlet in America, every single news station, every single reporter would clamor towards who next year? LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
They're going to drop everybody else for Jordan. You know what I mean? Because he's
exactly. They're going to run to fucking Jordan like every time he's in the locker room, every press conference, every time he's on the road. Nobody's going to be talking about fucking Steph Curry next year if Michael Jordan decided to make a comeback. Same thing applies. Dude, The Rock is coming back. Like, I just don't get the mentality of someone, like, it comes across as a very bitter person. Like, we're talking about fucking The Rock. It's not like fucking Ricky Steamboat came back and took the main event of Mania from you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the Dragon came back and was fucking fighting Lex Luger in the main event of Mania 25 years later. Like, good fucking WrestleMania. No, it's fucking The Rock, so, yeah. A little bit of a rant there. I don't know where we just went off on a tangent. We're gone fucking way off fucking pace.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good, though, to have a little bit of a rant and not just to be a rundown show of whatever, like, happened this week. We touched on it a little bit, but...
Speaking of rundown, didn't The Rock star in a movie called Rundown?
Rundown, yeah, he did.
Did you just try that intentionally? John?
No.
Oh, okay. Pretty good. All right.
What a coincidence.
Oh, I just thought you did it intentionally and you were going to be like, no pun intended. Like people in Ontario are like, no pun intended. Oh, fuck
Their
it.
guy.
Their guy. Sorry, I don't want to offend all my mainline listeners, as in nobody. When I say mainland listeners, what I really meant to say is my two cats in the living fucking room.
Yeah, listening to you, staring at you like you're a goddamn loser. Like, what the hell's putting it over there?
Yeah, my mainland lovers. Oh, two cats.
Alright, well, yeah, I guess
good
we'll
job.
go.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, we're going a little bit overtime here, but that's okay.
Well, we only went, like, we've done 3 hours in the last 2 days. As you can tell, we're a little bit obsessed.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, yeah, enjoy your week, everybody. We'll be back probably, I'm going to Newfoundland next 2 weeks. What is it? Anyway, to all my Newfoundland listeners, or our Newfoundland listeners, I should say, come back, baby! So, we'll be taking a bit of a hiatus then, because there won't be no time for a podcast, but
No.
we should be able to probably get 2 or 3 more in, I think, before I come back your way, Johnny?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to do one of your awkward outros, or do you want me to?
You can do your outro.
I
does the intros, you do the outros.
Oh, I'm not very good at the outros either. But why are we fighting over who's going to do the outro when someone just do the goddamn outro? How about that? All right, everybody, next Friday we're back. We'll talk about Raw. We'll talk about SmackDown. We'll actually dabble with the CWC maybe.
Oh, yeah, we never talked
we're getting down to the Final Four and the semifinals. We haven't talked about that. So next week on our podcast, maybe we'll spend the first 20 minutes or so talking about CWC because it's winding up and the cruiserweights are coming to Raw after the tournament's over. So we'll talk about that. Everybody have a good long weekend, Labor Day weekend. Fucking get drunk. Do whatever you want. We'll see you next week.
See you next
everybody.
next week.
Bye.